Blender autosave? Will it autosave? Somebody recently told me that Blender autosave just never works for them. Like they have autosave on, they have the timer set, but it just never works for them. And I wonder what would cause that. Because in Blender, usually it doesn't save outside of object mode, which makes sense. You wouldn't want Blender to freeze mid-sculpt. But outside of that, what would prevent that? By going through Blender's issue tracker and testing some things on my own, I think I found at least one answer. Modal operators. What are modal operators? Well, modal operators are operators that can last continuously, but usually stop because they're waiting for a condition or user input. Like with G to grab, it's waiting for me. It can't end unless I click. And some modal operators last indefinitely because maybe it's processing something in the background, kind of like a render would. A render's not a modal operator, but you get the idea. But so long as a modal operator is running, the autosave will wait until that modal operator is done. But that makes sense. You wouldn't want Blender to save in the middle of doing something, right? But what if the modal operator just never ends? Well, that would prevent autosave indefinitely, but no one would keep a modal operator running continuously, right? Right? But not every modal operator makes it clear that they're running. Let's talk about scripts and add-ons. And so scripts and add-ons can register their own modal operators, kind of like this example one here. But so long as the operator is running, Blender will just stop autosaving. Now, why would an add-on do this? Well, in some cases, it needs to have something running in the background, maybe to check something, or sometimes just it requires drawing a custom interface for the user to interact with, such as with BlenderKit, the asset browser that drops down when you open it. That is a modal operator. And so that modal operator is running so long as you have that browser open, right? But if that modal operator never ends, autosave never happens. So what do we do about it? For users, mainly just be aware. I did make this add-on so you can kind of see a history of modal operators that have run or are still running. And I'll share later in the video how you can install this add-on. And this add-on will show you where the operator is coming from as well. And you can even open the folder that contains the script. In this case, most of these are core Blender scripts, so it just pops up the Blender folder. But once you found the add-on that causes it, what do? Well, you can turn off the add-on, but that's probably not what you want to do because you want the add-on. But there may be ways that you can turn the modal operator off on your own directly through the add-on. With BlenderKit, you just collapse the asset browser and that'll let autosave resume. But if there's otherwise no clear way to be able to turn off the modal operator, then that's the time to probably contact the developer or maintainer and say, hey, this modal operator is running in your add-on and it's preventing autosaves from happening. Now, this isn't to say modal operators are bad. I'm not hating on add-ons that are using it, of course. I'm saying that modal operators have the side effect that most add-on developers and users aren't aware of. And I want to make sure that everyone is aware of if your autosaves are not as consistent as you expect them to be, then this could be one of the causes. If you're interested in the Save Your Autosave add-on, it will be on my extensions repository, just like Blender has its free extensions platform that you can download, manage, and update your add-ons. I have my own free extensions repository for you to download my free add-ons. If you're already using my extensions repository, the URL is changing, so listen. So I've moved my repository off of GitHub, but instead of giving some arbitrary host, I've decided to map my extensions repository more closely to my personal web domain. So that way, if I move it off in the future, that URL doesn't have to change. So go to extensions.spencermagnuson.com, and the website will share some of the extensions that are available in the repository, as well as how to set it up in Blender. But really quickly, I wanted to give a shout out and thank you guys for getting me to 1,000 subscribers. Thank y'all. Y'all are the best. So thank you very much. I'm very grateful for that. I'm going to figure out what I want to do to kind of celebrate. If you have questions for me, leave a comment below. If maybe what's your favorite video of mine, or maybe the one that you first found or made you subscribe. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And happy saving, happy auto saving, and happy blending.